baby. Raising hell today, okay?
Bring the juice today, brother. Let's get it.
Come on, you gonna be standing right next to me, man?
Let's go.
That's what we do now. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Let's do a thing now. Take off, kid. Take off, kid. Run. Far side of the 10. Step off to the 5. 10 for the end zone.
What a play. What a play.
Derrick Henry was on my team, so I'm going to go Texans, I guess.
Yeah, he's on Tennessee, though.
Oh.
You tried. You went for it. I appreciate it. This is Up the Gut, live.
100%.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Up the Gut, your new favorite football show and mine. I got my ring of power, I got my juice, and of course, I got my co-host, Patrick Kimmel.
Matt, what's happening?
Oh, you know me, living the life.
Living the dream, man. Sometimes when I'm watching the countdown, I forget that I'm the guy that has to press the button. Well, here we're at it again, another week.
Yeah.
You know, we just found out that the NFL is going 17 weeks for the regular season. And I thought, well, what's the big deal? Up the Gut, here we go, 52 weeks a year.
Well, it's because we can't add another week to our schedule.
We would, though.
Well, of course we would.
In fact, we're going to do something similar. We're going to add another show.
Of course, why not?
Because who doesn't need more Matt in their life? I do. That's all I know.
We do it for the people.
I did it for the A-list. Hey,
No, I had to throw my ring up there because we just had the Snyder Cut of the Justice League, and we had 2 extra hours out of that movie, but no extra Green Lantern. So I felt kind of robbed.
you know, the only Green Lantern I need, Joe Flacco.
He's not Green Lantern.
He is. He's green enough for me now. Eagles.
If he's a Green Lantern, he'd at least be started.
He might be. I think I
he's
saw a
gonna win
report
the
that they haven't said whether or not Jalen's going to be the starter or not. So it
I
could
just don't think
be.
he's going to win the starting job from Jalen. That's all.
He might. We'll see. Don't you doubt my Flacco.
I say we just go ahead and get into it. Let's get into this not so breaking off season news.
I'm usually better than this.
Not so breaking off-season news.
Yes, and as we stated, it is official. The NFL now has a 17-game regular season.
Yeah, I saw Alvin Kamara was unhappy with this and thought it was stupid. And I thought, you know what? It's not like you're getting the same pay. You're going to get an extra game check. It's not like you already don't have many months off to begin with. I understand the wear and tear on your body, but if you don't like it, just quit. Just go do something else because there's a lot of us out here like Up the Gut that goes 52 weeks a year, one night a week. I mean, that's rough. But no, I go to work almost every day. There's some people, I mean, I had a job where I had to work 7 days a week. I did that for years.
Yep.
We have wear and tear in our body too. We get it. You know, but what's an extra game? One more game in the season? It's going to increase revenue, which will increase cap space, which will make teams better. Like, chill. Sorry.
And it's going to get rid of a lot of these tiebreakers you have at the end of the season to see who gets these playoff spots because now there's an odd number of games. So
Yes.
unless you get more ties, like actual ties in the games, all these tiebreaker stuffs, like who had the better record, all that stuff, won't have to go with that anymore. Now more often than not, the better teams will get that last spot.
Yeah, and oh man, I had something. I forgot it.
It is going to change, I think, how the record book looks, though, because now all the season records, there's an extra game to break all those.
Yeah, and eventually that'll normal out, but yeah, there's going to be some records broken, but the ones that aren't broken, even though they add an extra game, those are going to be the more impressive ones.
Yeah, but I feel like within the next 10 years, we'll see a new passing touchdown record, a new rushing yard record.
Next year, we could very well see I would say next year, if we don't get a passing yard record and a passing touchdown record, I'd be very surprised because I could see that one coming. The 17-game regular season, I know what I was going to say now.
Ooh, what's that?
I can already see where this might create an issue because there is an odd number of games now.
Yeah.
Because now you're going to have either one more game at home or one more game away. It's not going to be even. And there's already some. I think Buffalo will have a home game. Kansas City and Green Bay. I think Kansas City got that home game, didn't it?
Yeah.
So, Green Bay's got one more game on the road, one more travel. So that could make a difference.
But I feel like the NFL has something in place for this. I feel like they're squared enough away that they're not going to do something like this without having the way they want to run it already set up.
No, I think you're right. They'll try to balance it out, and it's just I feel kind of bad for the people in the NFL because it is going to lead to more of the having to figure out who's on the road, who's at home, who's played who, records, trying to figure out schedules, who plays more. That's a lot of stuff to figure out. But they got enough people to do it. Now
it'll alternate somehow. So every other year you'll get that extra home game. That'll be fun.
Yeah. And now here's a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Did this just add one more game where we see backups play? We going to see some Mitch Trubisky week 17 against the football team?
If you've already clinched your division, yeah.
So, before there was talk about resting him, week 16, I think the Buffalo, we had like week 15, 16 where we would rest them and, about halftime. But now are you resting 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Like, are there going to be some of these players, if you clench it, that you're going to be out for a month? I mean,
I don't think they'll rest them that long because you don't want them to get rusty. Because if you already clinch all that stuff, you'll most likely also have a bye week.
That's true.
We only have one bye week per conference now.
Yeah.
But if you've locked up the number one a couple weeks in advance because you're crushing it that well, I think they'll rest them maybe that week 17, maybe week 16, 17, but I can't see them resting too much more than that because they still got to get those game reps in.
Makes sense. I do want to say, if you're watching, get in the chat. Talk to us. We want to talk to you guys. It's been forever. It's been kind of quiet there lately.
Yeah, we're approachable, usually.
Well, at least one of us. That good-looking man on my left. Sorry, I didn't mean to pull you off that, but I just want to make sure that people understand that it's why we do this live. We want to talk to you guys, especially in the off season like this. So,
yeah, I mean, I feel like it will pick up once games start, though. That's when people want to come out and do some chirping. And I love
smacky tacky talk.
Oh, and I love chirping.
Yeah, you do, but you're good at it.
I got a lot of practice.
Just realized I didn't remind Joel.
Oh no!
I need to remind Joel.
You send out that reminder. Meanwhile, I'll get into our next little segment here on Not So Breaking News, and I guess it's really not breaking at this point that Sammy Watkins is playing for another team.
Was it ever really that breaking, though? I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That's why it's not so breaking.
Yeah, it really wasn't that impressive. I think that he's good enough. If he can stay healthy, he can make Lamar look better. But I still stand by what I say when it comes to Lamar Jackson. I think he could be a good quarterback. I don't think he's an MVP. I don't think he's top. I don't even think I have him top 10. But I think he could be better given the chance, but I don't think the offensive coordinator, I don't think the coach are going to give him a chance. They're going to rely too much on the run first, scramble mentality, design run scrambles, which then that is actually bad for Sammy because he's not going to get thrown at a lot.
No, but then it's just on him when he gets his moments, don't drop it.
And that's why I think that's why a lot of receivers didn't go to Baltimore. I don't think it was them saying that Lamar is a bad quarterback. I don't think it was even them saying it was a bad team, bad coaching. I think they just realized that as wide receivers, they weren't going to get the ball a lot. And they, that's how you get your money. You got to have stats. You're not going to have those receiving stats there. I think, what is Hollywood Brown there? I think he kind of started coming on the end of the year. But even then, I don't think he had amazing stats. So,
yeah, I don't think Baltimore had a single 1,000-yard receiver, did they?
If they did, it would have been a tight end because that's what he does. But anyway, I like to see Sammy moving around his reptilian alien self. There was rumors of him going to Buffalo. I don't think he would be even farther down the depth chart in Buffalo than he was in Kansas City, I think. So,
you think so? You don't think Sammy Watkins would immediately be your number 2?
I think Emmanuel Sanders would be better than Sammy Watkins. More durable, more speed. He's not going to outdo Diggs. Beasley in the slot is by far than Sammy Watkins in the slot. So he'd be 4th or 5th on our depth chart.
Honestly, even then,
Gabriel Davis might even be better in his second year.
Being the number 3 receiver in Buffalo would not be a bad thing the way that offense is going.
Yeah, no, I really look forward to seeing what they are next year because I think I told you, we did really good, but that's 1 year. 2 years starts to show consistency. If we come out and we're rocking and we go 13-3, 14-2 again, get in the playoffs, get the AFC Championship, get to the Super Bowl, like then I'll know we're for real for long term. It's not just we come up with a plan. People didn't know what to do with it yet, but now they do. And I don't think that's going to be the case anyway, just because of the skill set we have. Josh Allen can make something out of nothing. Josh Allen could hit the throws. Stephon Diggs is amazing. Emmanuel Sanders has a really good skill set. Cole Beasley in the slot, as long as he doesn't break his legs, really good. So, yeah. This doesn't need to be a whole Buffalo thing, but Sammy Watkins to Baltimore. Yeah, I like it. I hope he stays healthy, and I hope they throw more because that would be between Hollywood Brown and Sammy Watkins. That's a pretty good receiving core. Mark Andrews in there, top-notch tight end. I think that could be a really good offense. They just have to allow the running to make people think, but it can't be what you do all the time.
Yeah, just for my edification, I did look at their receiving stats.
I appreciate you agreeing with me.
And nobody had over 800 yards receiving.
Whew.
Yeah, Hollywood Brown led at 769.
Gosh, and that was it. He was coming on at the end of the year.
Yeah, and then Mark Andrews was next at 701. And then third was Willie Snead at 432.
I don't mind Snead either. Like, he's all right.
He had a bigger role in the offense when he was in New Orleans.
Do you realize how good Lamar could be? He's obviously going to have to work on some stuff because he isn't the best passer. So he's going to have to work on it. But if he just sat in there and had the ability, look how good Josh Allen can be when he slings the ball around, but when he lets loose with a run, he can gain 30 yards on a run sometimes just because he's quick. Lamar's quicker. Could you imagine if he's sitting back there and he was slinging it and they actually had to, drop people out, only rush 4?
Yeah.
He could get so many yards off that. It would even open up the running better for him. It just couldn't be all the time. My gosh, I am dropping some dimes here about Lamar Jackson and Joel and even watching.
Worried about Buffalo's strength of schedule. That's what happens. That's what happens when you win your division.
We're going to play number ones, but I'm not too worried about it because if you're going to play, if you want your team to be good and you want it to be against the best teams, like if we're beating the Green Bays, we're beating the Kansas Cities, which we haven't done yet. Like we really need to beat the Kansas City, but if we're doing that, we're beating the Seahawks and Cardinals, whoever are the good teams. That's what you want to see because I couldn't tell you how many years Buffalo had a poor strength of schedule. We beat bad Raiders, bad Jets, bad Miami, bad Arizona. We beat all these bad teams and we're 5-0, but it turns out we're just slightly better than the worst possible freaking teams.
Yeah.
So, no, I want to play the good teams. I think I said it a lot last year. Like, I wanted Kansas City in the AFC Championship. We didn't beat them, but that's who I want. I want to beat the good teams. When we played Baltimore, I was a little worried because the running game was our kryptonite. And you know what? They showed out and they shut that running game down and we won. That's what I want to see out of a team. I don't want to see you beat bad teams. I don't want to get to a Super Bowl. I mean, how many teams get into the playoff? I am on a roll, and I apologize, Matt. I'm not trying to cut you out, but
right now, 14 teams get in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I was saying how many teams get in the playoffs winning bad games and then get a good team and then they just suck and they look horrible in the playoffs. I don't want that. I want to be good in the regular season. I want to be good in the playoffs. I want to be good all the time, and you're only good if you're playing good teams.
I would love to be good in the playoffs. Believe me.
You are. Usually it's the NFC Championship game. Yeah, I don't know why, but you guys are good. You're a solid team. You make it the NFC Championship, and then they're like, you know what? Not this year. Someone else can have it. I'm just looking forward to you guys trading up in the first round to draft another quarterback. And then you're going to make like a draft day trade and you're going to get a second round pick out of Jordan Love. And I'm going to laugh. And then I'm going to call the cops on you to put you under suicide watch.
As soon as I hear the words QB in our first round draft pick, something's already lit on fire. You can't call the cops fast enough.
Now, this really is more something for probably a show later on. But how pumped would you be if you guys traded up and got like the best receiver in the draft? Would you be okay with that?
I'd be so happy. Are you kidding me?
But what if you had to trade up and give away a first next year? Worth it?
Fine. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure what you like. We'll get into that later because I think we're going to try to do a mock draft at some point. So I don't know. Maybe we'll get. I think you guys have probably all noticed that we haven't had our contributor Chad in a while. Chad's fine. I didn't kill him off or anything. He's just really busy with work.
I don't know if either of us have what it takes to kill him off. That's a large man.
It is a very large man.
And not large like me. He's muscle large.
Yeah, he is a big dude. Him and I work in the same industry, so we run into some of the same people. And I ask, do you know Chad? And the way I describe him is I say, he's a big guy, looks like he's going to eat your lunch. And he does. I don't know why that became the description of Chad, but I go with it. And one time he introduced me to somebody, and he's like, Chad. I'm like, man, do you still have your lunch? Do you need me to share? Because he's been hanging out with Chad. Anyway. So Chad, maybe we'll get him on here for the mock draft, but sometimes it's hard to fit the show in with real life. We got stuff going on. I know Matt has to wake up earlier before work. I'm taking breaks in between work sometimes. So, we love to do it, but sometimes, someone like Chad just doesn't have it in him, but we'll get him back at some point. Stuff will slow down again. He won't be quite as busy, but Chad, if you are watching, we miss you on here.
Yeah, we haven't got to play your intro video in a hot minute.
I know. I miss it. Every once in a while, I just come in here and play it just so I can hear it. I think about you. But he will also be a part of something we'll mention later. But he called me today and gave me some ideas for it. Really good ideas. Nice. Couple comments. I'll go ahead and pop them up real quick. You want to comment on this one?
I mean, I think she's absolutely right. Another game is just another opportunity to get hurt.
100%, but also a lot of the times you get hurt is if you calm down a little bit. So I think that if they start resting people because they have that extra week and they don't want injury, sometimes that leads to more injuries. So this is one of those, not always the case, but that is also part of it. I mean, they're going to get that extra game check. You don't want to see it. Hopefully they aren't, and hopefully they'll play better, or not better, but hopefully they'll, be more aware of it and prepare for it properly. Yeah.
And then we got
I'm just always riled up. Plus,
you really are.
I've got my Bills cup with my whiskey and Coke and my meat stick, my Pop's Authentic meat stick.
And I got my Macho Man Randy Savage shaker cup.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh, yeah.
The mid.
And then I also have some Ancient Age bourbon, which if you see me smelling it, it's just because it is so smooth and smells like a caramel apple. It's so flippin' delicious.
That sounds tasty.
You never think it, but the way I describe this is it's my summertime mowing the lawn sipping whiskey. Like you never think that would be a thing, but it is. You could sip this, be outside sweaty and hot, and still want bourbon.
Nice. And then we do have outside the narrative when we're going to rate some stuff. It's later.
When are we not rating stuff? We're always rating stuff.
It's always later. That's like the second to last thing we do on this show.
Yes, it will be coming up. And I don't think we've told him, but what are we? I think it might be in the thing. What are we rating today?
Rating our top 10 stadiums.
What's the, how do we, is this off of, history? Is this off of, what's the parameters for this?
It's whatever you want. Everyone likes different stadiums for different reasons.
So you're just telling me that we're going crazy and just rating it however we like, regardless of any logic or reason?
Yeah, we could throw one in the middle of the list just because it's pretty.
I love it. I'm telling you, if you guys get a chance to get any of those Pop's Authentic Meat Snacks from Jennings Meats in New Franklin, Missouri, they are delicious. Like I said, I bought up. I think they're
our first sponsor.
They were our first unofficial sponsor, which actually this week we do have our first official sponsor. We'll get to that, but not right now. Not yet.
Right now. Actually, anyway, right now, let's talk about Green Bay making a move and re-signing a backup defensive lineman.
I thought Lancaster was O-line, or was it D-line?
I'm pretty sure he's D-line. I'm pretty sure he's a backup.
Well, I don't know.
I don't see him often. I know he's a backup.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I was just going through for our lineup, and I saw Green Bay re-sign somebody, which was a very Green Bay thing. And I said, you know what? I'll throw it in there because I had, I believe, a Buffalo thing in there. And I'm like,
yeah. No, he's a backup defensive end.
okay, well, you still got him. I mean, we just signed an offensive lineman out of Cincinnati that I heard was rated like one of the worst offensive linemen in the NFL 2 years ago. So
that's just making
you got
sure
to have depth. Depth is just as important. And we have not heard from Fitzpatrick yet, but I think he just likes to quietly enjoy our stuff, you know?
Yeah. While drinking his Conor McGregor whiskey because they look similar.
All right, you can have that one. I'm not going to agree with that one. That's all you.
What do you mean? How can you not agree? When he was all chained up in sunglasses, that was Conor McGregor to a T.
He had the look down, like he was dressed like him. He was imitating him, but it's not like they looked identical. I think Fitzpatrick looked about a gajillion times cooler than Conor, and he would whoop my ass. So don't tell him I said that, but Fitzpatrick,
Conor McGregor,
yeah, Ryan both of them probably. And then Ryan Fitzpatrick would probably be doing like complicated math problems while he did it, and I just really feel really bad about myself.
Yeah, beating you up and throwing that Ivy League education in your face.
I love Fitzpatrick. How do you not love Fitzpatrick?
He is
so I'm going to steal one real quick since we got Matt Breida from Miami. He is now one of our running backs. I watched some stuff on him. He doesn't look amazing, but it's not bad. And honestly, I actually went back and watched some replays of games last year. I watched the Miami game week 2, the LA Rams game week 3. We actually had somewhat of a run game. Like, I don't think they may add it up, but Singletary was busting some runs. So I'm sure they're going to make a run at making that better. I don't think it's going to be through the draft. So I don't know. I think Buffalo in the draft, honestly, is just going to go best available when they trade or when they draft. I don't think they're going to look for any specific position because we're pretty locked up on most everything. But if they can make an improvement, to the draft, the O-line, we can make some improvement, but we got some solid people in there. We have consistency now. We haven't really lost anybody. We re-signed. So they got better in the playoffs. So except for that Chiefs game, God, that was awful. They let so many people through. I don't know if it was a scheme they weren't used to or what. But anyway, so we have Breida. I don't know if I'm excited about it or not, but it's another 1-year deal. So
I remember his time in San Francisco, and he was solid.
His Miami time, I watched him play us, and then I watched some highlights, and he could have some stuff, but behind what was it? It's not Gesicki, that's the tight end. It's like Galecki or something.
Yeah,
whoever it was, the running back there, he was so good. It kept Breida on the sidelines, and I think part of running is consistency, being able to start working towards something. If you're just there on a third down here and there, you're not really going to get the feel for the team that you're playing, so you're probably not going to break as many runs. So I'm not going to hold that against him, but he's going to have a slot. He's going to have a spot. He's going to have a chance in Buffalo. So, from the Bills Mafia, which you introduced me as the Don, and I think anybody in the Bills Mafia may be a little upset because I'm from Buffalo. But I was a founding sponsor of the Bills Mafia, and you will not find many. I knew Del Reed back before it was cool. I didn't know him, but I talked to him.
The fact that you're this much in the Bills and not from Buffalo, I think, just speaks more about how you are Bills Mafia, Don, because you're not a homer. You're not from Buffalo. Like, I like him because that's where I'm from. No.
Only NFL team I've ever been a fan of. So,
yeah.
And I'm considerably old now. Not as old as you, but considerably old.
I'm not considerably old. Neither. Let's just throw that out there. Neither one of us are 40 yet, okay?
We're true.
Not old.
That's true. We're not. I mean, but if that's the mark, we're not far from it.
No, it used to be the mark, but with the miracles of modern science now, you can be 60 and still be in better shape than people half your age.
That's true.
My dad's 60. He turned 61 this year, and he's still a security guard, running the same training and stuff as these 30-year-olds he works with.
I don't know what this means.
Speaking of sponsors, we get to see yours later.
We do have a sponsor this week, and you will see them. Maybe I don't know. I think you might know who's sponsoring. If you do know who's sponsoring, that's why we're going to try to delay the sponsorship a little bit. So we should actually hear from an actual sponsor.
Yep.
That might be what she's talking about. I don't know.
And then real quick, we already got some draft pick trades. Eagles trading up number 6 because they got 3 picks from Miami for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Shoot. There's been so much crazy stuff. So the Eagles trade their number 6 for Miami's 12 this year. Their 4th round this year and a first next year. But Miami traded for San Francisco for that number 12. So Miami went up to 6, and then but they traded a 12 that they got from San Francisco, who traded to the 3, but gave Miami number 12 and then a first for 22 and 23 and a conditional 3rd round in 22. It's so confusing. I don't know what's going on, except for if they're not trading up to get a quarterback, why are they trading up? Because it's either going to be Zach Tyler or Zach something and Justin Fields. I assume they think that Justin Fields is going to be their guy.
Yeah. I mean, well, heck, now they're down to they're back up to 6 because the Eagles gave them the number 6.
Yeah.
But they were number 3
after?
The Eagles?
No, Miami.
I'm not sure. I'm going to guess something on defense.
Their defense was pretty good. I assume it's going to be something to complement Tua because Tua didn't look great. So it's got to be something offensively to complement him and make him look good. I don't know what, maybe a running back, maybe a receiver, but
I just
it have to be a receiver.
How you're a team that was, I don't remember their record, 10-6, 11-5, somewhere around there. They won at least 10 games and came into this draft with a number 3 pick. Why would you get rid of that?
Because I got a first round in 2022 and 2023.
That's adorable, but that's a whole year away.
Long term, that's what you need. That's what I did when I played Madden franchise. I'd trade my first round pick, go back in the first round, and pick up a first round next year.
That's because in Madden you always won. These guys aren't going to win all the time like you did in Madden.
Not when I played you.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
I assume the Joe Burrow was fine to come back on time. I haven't actually heard anything, but I did see him at the last UFC fight. He looks weird.
I'm pretty sure he's going to come back because he got hurt, but it wasn't like an Alex Smith.
I don't think she means forever, but I mean, sometimes you have to miss some training camps, some preseason, something. Yeah. But I think he'll probably, I mean, they haven't said anything, and he got injured early enough in the year. He'll probably come back and be there for everything.
Yeah, he'll be ready for week 1, and he'll still be the starter because I don't see Cincinnati getting anybody who's going to take it from him.
No, this one's for you.
Up or down?
Yeah.
Up or down what?
Actually, that's an inside joke with me and outside the narrative.
Well, then that's not.
I'll tell you about it sometime.
If you're asking me which way I would trade in the draft, I would trade up, not down, like the Dolphins did.
I would trade down. Depends on what your need is. If you really need someone and someone's there, do it. But if you can trade down, I wouldn't trade out of the first round or out of the current round you're in. But if you could trade down, trade down. There's so many good players. Like Buffalo right now, if they traded down but not out of the round, I wouldn't be mad at it because they'll get more picks and then they'll get somebody that is still good. I mean, you're 32 picks in the first round, you're going to get somebody good.
You hope you get somebody good. There's been a lot of first rounders that don't live up to the hype.
Oh, so I put on here. That's where I remember the OT from. Julian Davenport signing with Indy. He's an offensive tackle.
Yes, he is. Names
I don't know. I don't, believe it or not, but I don't know everybody in the NFL. I know that's weird.
It's because this isn't our job. We don't have time like everybody else to study this all day, every day.
I think we do pretty good considering that we have real lives. I mean, jobs and families and your baby, your PS5. I mean, the fact that we have any time is amazing.
Yeah. I would say compared to the average fan, we're pretty knowledgeable.
I think so. I think a lot of it just has to be with our base knowledge being high enough that we're very intuitive about how the things go. You and I can both be a little bit biased about our teams.
A little bit. We don't have those loyalty blinders on where our team is the best because we like them.
Yeah, and we're willing to say, oh yeah, my team got away with one right there. We see it. We still see it for it as it is. Like, I'm okay with him getting away with one, where I'm not okay with another team getting away with one against us.
Yeah. Everyone's okay when they get to benefit from it.
Look at that stimulating talk up or down brought us.
Yep.
And that's exactly the answer I was looking for too.
But we are 35 minutes in, and I think we have exhausted our not so breaking off-season news.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know if we could end it yet.
No?
Oh no.
What you got?
We didn't talk about Danny Shelton going to New York. He didn't sign. I still haven't seen anything.
He's just visiting.
But Danny Shelton was that D tackle from Cleveland, right?
I believe so.
And that just shows New York Giants. They're trying to make some moves, man. They didn't like last year. And I forget who the coach there. I think Matt Rule's Carolina. Who's that guy up there? Joe Judge?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's just trying to – I think he's really making some. Getting Kenny Galladay, getting Adoree Jackson, trying to bring in Danny Shelton.
But no, it says right now, as of 2 days ago, the Giants are signing him.
They are?
Yes. Nothing's been official yet, but the Giants are signing him.
Well, that's good. See, I don't know. I think I talked to you about us maybe having a guest host coming up, but I didn't get his information, so we weren't able to get him this week. I think his name might have been Preston, but I was drinking fairly heavily watching those Taste Bud guys. If you get a chance to watch those Taste Bud guys Monday Night Lives or any video they post, but especially Monday Night Live, do it. It is a good time. Like I said, I got a little inebriated, but so did they. We didn't get the information, but he's a Giants fan, so but had some really good insight. So I look forward to getting him on the show. Oh, Taste Bud guys. They agree. We were drinking heavily as well.
Yeah, but that's their job.
It is. I actually we'll get into it later, but I had to actually text them and get some permission for some stuff because we'll get into that later. So I guess if you want to end it now, I'm okay with that.
I mean, yeah, and that's the problem with the off season. There's never huge things happening, but in about 2 months or 3 months, when things start going on in camp and stuff, it'll start ramping up.
Well, I mean, that is also us only being a weekly show. Sometimes when this news breaks, I want to get on and just do a quick live and be like, "Hey guys, breaking news! This happened." I'm like, "Nope, we'll just wait till it's not that big of a deal." So it's not so breaking off-season news.
Exactly.
Not so breaking off-season news.
And now we want to take this time for a quick reminder that besides other sponsors, we do have an official quarterback here at Up the Gut.
Do we?
We do.
Oh, really?
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you the official quarterback of Up the Gut.
That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. I don't care what they all say. That's right. I'ma do this thing my way. Let's go. Been grinding hard on it all day. Okay. We work hard, then we all play. Yeah. I'm addicted to the grind, man. That's right. So I refuse to waste time, man.
I really like that song.
I really like that video.
I really like that quarterback.
I do too.
Oh my goodness!
Like, will he ever be in the Hall of Fame? Honestly, probably not. But he's
wait.
What?
I got sent something, and we need to make this happen. We're going to start the hashtag here, whatever we decide the hashtag to be. But we're starting the initiative right here tonight on Up the Gut Live.
Oh, okay.
It is said that to be able to get into the NFL Hall of Fame, you have to make at least uno. One in another language. Okay.
Also a card game.
You have to have at least one Pro Bowl. Ryan Fitzpatrick does not currently have a Pro Bowl. So what do we need to do this year as fans of the NFL?
Vote him in the Pro Bowl?
We need to vote him into a Pro Bowl. This is the year we will get him because this is very likely could be his last year in the NFL. And if that is, he needs a Pro Bowl. And in that Pro Bowl, he needs to be able to get into the Hall of Fame 5 years from now because you know what? He may not have been the best ever, but he was the best ever on this amount of teams. No one's done that. And that alone should be Hall of Fame worthy. So before we go much farther, sorry. Tastebud guys do agree. It was their job. They laughed at you. It is everybody's job.
They laughed with me.
And yes, apparently Heather agrees with you.
He looks like Conor McGregor in that photo.
Way cooler. Sorry.
He is way cooler because he's from the Ivy League and older.
Even Conor McGregor, I'm not saying he's not cool. So before we move on to the next part, like this video if you haven't. If you're watching, you haven't clicked like, please click like for us. Hopefully you like it, but even if you don't, click it anyway because Ehlers told you to.
And if you're not watching it live, when you do watch it, and you should watch it, leave a comment. Comment.
Once this thing is in there, it's in the archives. Comment on it, say something. We still read them. We'll still get back to you.
Yeah, I read all of the no comments we get so far.
Yep. So also find us on the Facebooks and the Twitters. Speaking of the Twitters, we are on both of those at UpTheGut1. And our Twitter, which should be one of the first comments up here. I have a link to it. We are doing, well, I guess we're going to have to get into this now, but we got a link. So you can click on it and we'll explain the link at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Other than that, should we handle some business?
I think it's time we handle some business.
Well, where do we handle business at, Ehlers?
At the Bills Pub.
At the Bills Pub.
It is. Being not a Bills fan, that is still gorgeous. I still want to hang out there.
I don't want to hang out there. So I'm gonna disappear into the Bills Pub.
With this new teleportation technology. I mean, look at it. It's even got this little turntable on there now, so you can put all your best goods on it and show them off to the world. All the neon signs, a fridge, a freezer, and a wine cooler thing on top. It's gorgeous. There he is.
I got my Ehlers button in the Bills Pub.
Nice.
All right. So we are sponsored this week by Mary Kay,
our first ever sponsor,
beauty consultant. All right.
Yep. Our first ever sponsor.
First official sponsor, Mary Kay, independent beauty consultant, Jennifer Kimmel. No relation. So when it comes to Mary Kay, everybody thinks the same thing. Oh, that's for women. That's for old women. That's not for me. I'm a man. Well, I'm a man too. And these are all the men's products that we have here. Well, I don't know. This may not be all of them, but it's all that we have here in mine. We have colognes. We have face washes. We have aftershave, shaving cream, all sorts of stuff. The charcoal mask, which the charcoal mask, I think next week we may be wearing one for our show. Keeps our skin nice, but who am I to tell you about it? I just use the stuff. I don't know about it. Maybe we need a professional. Hold on. Meat stick.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Kimmel, no relation to Patrick, and I am a beauty consultant with Mary Kay. And hi, Heather. I know you're watching. But anyway, most of you men don't think that Mary Kay's for you, but you actually can use all of our products if you like, if you don't mind having pink products. But all of these here are made especially for men. So colognes, we've got face wash, we've got shaving gel, we've got cooling gel after you shave, eye cream for all of you guys worried about getting wrinkles. We've got moisturizer, we've got limited edition shower gel, and then the charcoal mask. But not only do you need Mary Kay, and you guys need to be washing your face and taking care of yourself to stay pretty, you also need to remember that your girlfriends or your wives or your sister's wives, second cousin, twice removed, likes Mary Kay too. So thanks for letting me sponsor you guys. Back to you guys.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on, come back. First of all, Heather says hi. Second of all, thanks for sponsoring. And
you're welcome.
Isn't today the last day of a big sale?
Yes. I can give Patrick my information for my Facebook group, but I have a lot of items on sale for 40% off, which is a huge deal. Mary Kay usually doesn't have awesome sales like that, but I have goals to reach, and I am trying to get you guys a good deal. So contact me if you guys have any questions or want an awesome deal. And if you get a hold of me tonight, I might throw in something extra for you. So
down scrolling bottom screen and also pinned in the comments is her website. If you know us, get a hold of us. Thank you so much. Enjoy your beef stick.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Meat stick. Now, I didn't go to Ivy League school, but 40% sounds like a big number.
That sounds like a big number to me. So again, thank you to Mary Kay, independent beauty consultant, Jennifer Kimmel. No relation.
But there is a relation.
Oh, that's right. I married her. Dang it. I forgot.
You did. All those years ago. All, what, 13?
Yeah, it was just our anniversary not too long ago. 13 years. Feels like 72.
Look at me remembering things.
It's impressive. Oh, where are we at?
I believe now it's time for Up the Gut to rate some stuff.
Ooh.
Go on and rate it.
Still my favorite video. I love it.
I do enjoy it too. I do.
And the fact that that's license-free rock and roll music, that's really good stuff.
Thrash metal.
Yeah.
Thrash metal.
It's so good.
Hold on. Hello, Alex. Good to see you this week.
Why are you yelling at us?
No kidding. Hello! I just figured he was really excited. And
That's
yes,
good.
actually, I talked to Outside the Narrative, and he actually shaved 1 year ago on my anniversary, so he would know when his beard was older.
That's awesome.
You can't beat that. Okay.
All right, so this week,
I think
we are rating our top 10 stadiums. And what is the criteria? The only criteria is that it has to be a currently used stadium.
that seems like a lot of criteria.
No, not really. You just can't go back and be like, I think Candlestick Park's number 4. Like, that's adorable. No one lives there.
I can't rate the Rich Stadium, the Ralph, and the Rock Pile, and just like have a list of Buffalo Bill stadiums, just them.
I mean, if you've used the same building, it's just had a bunch of different names, sure.
Cool. Okay.
But it has to be the currently used building. You can use whatever nickname it's ever had, but you can't be like a Pittsburgh fan and be like, well, I think Three Rivers is better. It's like, well, you don't use that anymore, so it can't be on your list.
Well, apparently your team didn't think it was better because they moved on. And I didn't threaten to cut you out of the text group. I threatened to leave the text group. There's a difference. I would never cut you out of anything.
Yeah. Patrick will cut himself out, though.
Yes, I cut myself. No, I don't cut myself.
Cut yourself out of the group. I didn't say you cut. You're not.
You know, I'm going to have to edit this out whenever I make this a shorter video. So hold on. Let's make this easier on myself. Hold on. This is Up the Gut. Rate some stuff.
Go on and rate it.
I don't know why. That stuff was gold.
Okay. Well, you started off this week.
I started off with AT&T Stadium in Dallas.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh, okay. I started off at number 10 with Ford Field.
And why did you pick Ford Field?
Ford Field, I mean, it's not anything super extravagant, but, you know, it's got kind of a classic look to it. There's some brick in it. It's ginormous. And it's got a huge Ford logo on the top. I mean, I only drive F-150s, so I just looking at it and you know, then the poor Lions, they got to get on a list for something. So
we can get them on a list for something. All right, and I picked AT&T Stadium because they were like the first stadium to have one of those giant LED boards. They were the first one.
They are on my list for that exact same reason.
Yeah, so. That's why they cracked my top 10. They're as far as all these newer stadiums that you see, they are definitely older. It's been around for about 10 years now. Yeah, and I just really enjoy looking back at the moments where punters would hit that board because it's hanging over the center of the field and not out of the way somewhere like it should be.
Yeah, no, and that's the reason that they made my list. You'll find out where they made my list, but they were that first really big extravagant. You know, we got Allegiant, we got SoFi, even to the point, whatever the Giants play at, that new one they got, the Giants and the Jets, you know. It was AT&T was that first like $1 billion look at me stadium. And it's still, even though it is however old it is, it's still nice. Like, it just sucks as the Cowboys playing in it, but still it's a nice stadium.
Oh no, that has Jerry Jones written all over it. Over the top, extravagant is awesome.
Oh no, 100%. And I just have to get to a comment before we move on. I was told you better have the right one at number 1 or there's going to be issues. I don't know what that is, but I'm 100% positive we have the same number 1 because I saw your list. So obviously it has to be the right one. So if his number 1, if Rick's number 1 differs from ours, that means he's wrong because we have the consensus here and we have the platform to put it out there. So take that.
That's right.
Take that. Anyway, comment if you guys have a thought on what we're talking about as far as, you know, where we put Ford Field or AT&T. Go ahead and comment up there. We'll hit you as we go. I think you started this one, so
I did.
And this is where I put Allegiant Stadium.
All right, this is where I put Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
That's the Falcons, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I put Allegiant. I think I put Allegiant probably the same reason you put that. They're really nice. I like the torch. It's got that cool like glass ceiling over it, and it's really neat looking. But it's also just like it's just nice. Like there's nothing. It's too new to have much history with it. Yeah, and that's kind of how I feel about Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You know, it didn't even make my list for that reason. It's just a stadium. Had it not been for the torch and that really clear roof, Allegiant might not have made mine.
I just like the Mercedes-Benz Stadium because, it's only a few years old. It's really nice looking, but instead of like a retractable roof, it's got that little thing in the center that kind of opens up like a portal or something to let the sunshine and shit in. And I thought that was the coolest thing when I first saw that work. It's such a nice stadium. It's such a nice stadium for a franchise doomed to fail forever.
It's that portal into something.
Yes, Portland in the last place, it looks like. See, at number 8 is where I put Allegiant.
Oh, that was close.
We were so
I
close.
think we're going to have a lot of close and probably only one the same. But whenever there's so little, parameters put on something, this could have been anywhere. I mean, we really could have picked anything. So I think the fact that we are getting some repeats, just not in the same spot, is still impressive. What'd you say?
That's where I put Allegiant.
Okay, this is where I put Lucas Oil.
All right,
Lucas Oil. It's not anything. It's not super extravagant, but I've drove by it probably more than about any stadium other than Arrowhead, and I really like the look of it. That brick and that. It does they have the combine every year, or they did. I don't know if they still do. I don't think they're doing the combine this year anyway. But it's just I like it. There's no other way. I have no other reason to put it in there other than I like it. And Alex just asked, what is the criteria? The only criteria being is that it had to be a currently in use stadium.
Yes. Excuse me.
I'm with you. I'm sitting here drinking and eating beef sticks. That's why I keep muting myself.
But no, this is why I put Allegiant because it's really nice looking. I like all like the big tinted windows on the front of it. So it's got that big black look that fits the Raiders since they moved.
It really does. It does have a Raiders feel to it.
Yes, it's kind of got Darth Vader feel to it because it's all shiny. It looks like a stadium tried to make it look like his face mask.
Yeah, no, I like it.
And I hope at some point, and I know Chiefs fans don't want to hear this, but I hope at some point the Raiders get better to where it feels like they deserve this stadium.
I like it. All right, they're going to pay for it. So before we move on to the next one, what are we drinking this week? Right now, I'm having an Ancient Age bourbon and a Jim Beam and Pepsi. Pepsi's clearly the better cola.
Yes. All you people that say Coke are better, you're wrong. I'll tell you.
Yes.
I don't care.
You just lit up the comment sections.
Good.
Anyway, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a not sponsored drink, but I just really like it. And it's called Ma, I don't know which way to turn it.
Ma.
And that's a bear.
That is a bear. All right. So
this is called the green. Number 7.
It's called the green what?
Green growl. It's like a
green growl. Okay, sorry. Again, there's a slight hesitation from when I press the button to when it happens.
Yeah.
Number 7, I have AT&T Stadium for the reason we already explained. It's like the first, so that's why it probably creeped up a little higher than yours.
Yeah. Number 7, I have TIAA Bank Field.
Ooh, that made it a little higher on mine.
In Jacksonville, because they were the first stadium to have like a pool area.
It makes sense for Jacksonville because if you can't watch the team play, might as well watch the girls in the pool. Sorry.
Yeah. And if you're a fan paying to go to the stadium to watch your team go 2-14, what better way to watch your team go 2-14 than getting smashed on pina coladas and margaritas in your swim trunks, relaxing in that awesome 80-degree water because it's right there in the sunshine.
I honestly, I think whenever we do our stadium tour, we're going to get pool tickets. I don't know what it takes to get them, but we're going to get them. No reason not to.
That's the only way to watch the Jacksonville Jaguars game is you have to get in that pool area.
You know,
you don't want to be.
We might match up on this next one. I'm going to predict that we're going to match up on this next one. We're going to get 2.
I guarantee we're not going to match up on this next one.
Are you good? You ready to move on?
Yeah, go ahead.
6.
Yeah, we're not going to match up. This is where I put Lucas Oil Stadium.
Damn it! That means we're not going to match up.
I told you.
You might have my. This is where I put Raymond James.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Down Tampa.
Yeah. And it's a pirate ship.
Yes.
I don't have anything necessarily against him. I'm not a huge Tom Brady fan. I don't hate him as much as I used to, but you got a pirate ship that shoots cannons. That's just awesome.
Yeah, every time they score, it's boom, boom. Could you imagine sitting right underneath that thing? Oof.
That'd be rough. I'm sure they have stuff ready for it. Oh my gosh.
It'd be rough, but it'd be fun.
All right. So what's your Lucas Oil?
I picked it because I know it's not an older stadium, not like Soldier and Lambeau, not that kind of old, but it has that really old rustic look because it's brick all on the outside, not just a couple spots, all the way around. And I don't know what it is about it, but I love those old school brick looking buildings because we got a bunch in our downtown area up here in Great Falls. And I just love walking past them and just looking at them. Just something about the way brick looks. It's awesome.
I don't know what that is, but I mean, I'm cool with a lightning machine, especially if it's mixed with a rain machine and a fog machine.
I'll do some crack research though.
All right. Alex, click like, will you? Like there's a thumbs up.
Amalie Arena is where the Tampa Bay Lightning play in the NHL.
Well, that makes sense then. I'm not big into hockey. I need to be. All I know about hockey right now is that the Buffalo Sabres are on like an epic losing streak, and they fired their coach.
All I know about hockey is that now all the Mighty Ducks movies are finally on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I actually had my kids watch one of them the other day.
That's not true. I know a lot more about hockey than that, but I love the Mighty Ducks.
I still think hockey is one of the highest skill sets of all the sports. You have to be able to skate.
Skating alone is so hard.
Yeah. And then you have to have the hand-eye coordination of Zeus himself to freaking we'll get into it someday. Now is not the day, but man, I've seen some things in hockey that amaze me.
When we have our hockey show.
Plus, they just randomly like have UFC fights in the middle of the freaking rink.
Yep.
You get everything there. Anyway, so we'll get into it. Maybe we'll have down the ice.
Cool.
5.
This is where I had TII Bank Field for the Jacksonville Jaguars with a pool.
TIAA.
TIAA.
Yes. This is where I had Raymond James.
Oh, see, we were close. I knew you were either going to have Raymond James 6 or 5. I knew it was one of those two.
Yeah, and I grabbed my top 5 because of this pirate ship with the cannons.
It's just cool.
It's so unique. No, like other places have like fireworks and stuff that go off. Neat. But nobody else has a cannon on a real Buccaneer pirate ship.
Yeah, I think one of them actually. Doesn't the Vikings do something like it with a cannon or something? Seattle's got the drum.
No, they have the Galad horn that they blow before the game.
That's it. The horn. And then the Seahawks have the drum, but I mean, come on, that is not a freaking pirate ship.
No. Although I will say, I forget which one is the Vikings. It's either U.S. Bank or Bank of America. I know it's one of those two. It's one of those.
It's U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is Vikings, and that almost made my list. I like it, but then when I really went and looked at it, it wasn't as exciting. And plus, I can't stand freaking U.S. Bank. Horrible banking institution.
U.S. Bank Stadium is my honorable mention because of the Gladhorn. That thing is actually pretty awesome.
No, the horn's cool, but the stadium itself, it didn't make honorable mention for me. I felt like two honorable mentions was good enough for me. Which
I still miss the Metrodome.
Yeah, I did too. I hated it when the blow up roof fell down. And actually, I almost put Arizona Stadium, State Farm Stadium, as an honorable mention because it literally looks like a blow up, like they just blew it up and it's sitting out in the desert. But I'm like, that's not enough reason, so I just left it off. All right.
Yeah.
4.
We might match here. This is where I put the Mercedes-Benz Superdome.
No, we're not going to match until the first one. Sorry.
What'd you put it for?
Arrowhead Stadium.
Wow. I thought that'd be a little higher on your list, but all right.
Arrowhead, the main reason it made it on here wasn't even for much of what Arrowhead is. I mean, it is cool, but it's because of the fans, really, that Arrowhead made it where it did on my list. You know, they aren't Seattle that is acoustically designed to amplify sound to make it loud. It's just a freaking outdoor stadium built, and the fans are loud now. And also the mystique of the Sea of Red. I've been there. I've seen it when they're just red everywhere. They're doing the tomahawk chop, and I mean, it's a hell of a field. So, but the three I have ahead of it, I could not put them there.
They don't have to cheat for those extra decibels like someone I know out west. You know what I'm saying? 12th man.
12th man? You mean 12th faker? Oh. Anyway, no. I like Seattle fans before they won that Super Bowl with Russell Wilson. The bandwagon's ruined it for me. So eventually, they're doing bad enough now that I'll be okay with them again because they'll lose all those bandwagon. They're all in Kansas City now. So. And they're not in the stadium. They're not doing the Sea of Red. And all our Kansas City fans that watch this, I better get some props for what I just said.
And this is where I put the Superdome because it is iconic. The Superdome's been around for a minute, and not just for football. So many other huge events have been done in the Louisiana Superdome. But it is pretty much the house that Drew Brees built, who we are going to miss from the game. But it's
I deleted Brees Watch. I can't do it. Sorry.
Well, we don't need Brees Watch. It's official.
You mentioned him, though. This is what was going to happen. Let's go ahead.
But that's also a place where Hulk Hogan made the iconic move where he forgot which dome he was in. He was hosting WrestleMania a few years back. I think it was WrestleMania 30. And he called it the Silver Dome.
I remember that, brother. Okay. Anything else to say on that? Because I don't want to cut you off again. I feel bad.
I think it's cool looking because you got the dome, but if you can get like the blimp view, it's got that huge Mercedes-Benz logo right on the top of it. It's classy. I love the Superdome. I hope to visit one day.
We will. We're going to put this thing on tour once we get some more subscribers. Our first goal is over 100 subscribers because then we can name the channel, make it easier to tell people how to find us. It'll be at the Up the Gut 1. Even if Up the Gut's available, we're going to be consistent. Then it's 1,000 so we can monetize and make you guys watch ads. And then 3, we'll have enough money because we'll start a Patreon. Once we can monetize, we'll also start a Patreon, start offering things for viewers. And then we'll do the stadium tour.
Yes.
Even if I have to fund the sucker, I will. And we'll do it. Anyway. 3 is where I get extremely biased.
Oh.
So and no one's going to know what I'm talking about here.
3 is where I
put his official name.
3 is where I put Soldier Field.
You son of a bitch. 3 is where I put Highmark Stadium. What is Highmark Stadium, you ask? It's the Ralph
Wilson Stadium.
It is Ralph Wilson Stadium, the home of the Buffalo Bills,
but apparently more than one place uses the name Highmark, and that's why we were confused the other day. We were talking about it.
Yeah, there's another one that I thought else. Anyway, another high something. But anyway, Highmark, it was official just a couple of days ago. That's almost breaking news. Like it's like 2 days old. But Highmark, Blue Cross Blue Shield has bought the naming rights. And like all the Bills fans will tell you, just like everybody, it is the Ralph. I can't believe that they would call it Hallmark. I would pay the money and call it the Ralph. Or Ralph Wilson Stadium, because that is what needs to be done. The fact that it's not kind of upsets me. Anyway, I put them there for almost the same reason I put Arrowhead right behind them. The fans, the way the weather affects it. We're up north, but we're not a dome team. We're out in the cold. We're the wind whips through and makes kicking impossible, throwing hard. Like it actually, the stadium itself. One of the reasons Buffalo's had so much trouble over the years is no one can throw in Buffalo in the winter. Jim Kelly was a linebacker quarterback. He was big. He could throw a spiral through that wind. Josh Allen is a linebacker big. He throws through there. So not only does the stadium actually partake in making it harder to play up there, but the fans, we were limited in New York. We weren't even allowed to have fans this year until the playoffs. And I think it was like 1,000 or whatever it was. And the player said that 1,000 people sounded like, a full stadium. The fans in Buffalo make it what it is. And I'm saying that as a fan, but never have been there able to do that. But the fans in Buffalo are about as diehard as you can get. Cleveland, Buffalo, these are diehard to the core fans, and they're out there. They're in the cold. They're not in a dome. They're at the game. So that's why I put them number 3. A little bit biased, but I also pay attention. I see what they do. I see what that stadium does, and I know what it means to everybody, regardless of whether it's called Highmark or Ralph Wilson or New Era, whatever they try to call it. It's amazing. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, that's fine. And that's part of the criteria for this. It's the stadium they use. It does suck that they had to change the name to some corporate sponsor, because I hate when stadiums do that. All these teams I have now, I miss almost every one of their old stadiums. I miss the Silverdome. I miss Candlestick. I miss Three Rivers. I miss Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, even though no team is even in that city anymore as far as football is concerned.
The Coliseum.
Yeah, I miss the Coliseum. I forget the one that Seattle had before CenturyLink, but I like that one too.
It's not CenturyLink anymore. Did you see that when you were looking them up?
I did not.
It's called something else. You'd have to do some crack research, but it's not called CenturyLink. And Arrowhead, actually in Arrowhead, it's GEHA something stadium at Arrowhead.
Oh, that's right. The stadium, the one in Seattle, is Lumen Field.
Yeah, see, it's already changed. I still like calling it CenturyLink, but anyway.
Yeah, the link.
And the reason it didn't make it is, 1, Kansas City's louder, so they take that. And 2, I actually went by it on the ferry, and I thought it was like an industrial warehouse. It doesn't even look like a stadium from the outside. It's weird. Anyway, you were talking about Soldier Field.
This is where I put Soldier Field in Chicago. And it's because it is just so old school. It is the oldest stadium in the NFL. It's built in the 20s, the 1920s. And
isn't it amazing that you have something at 3 that's not even on my list? Though that was one of the honorable mentions because of the history of it.
Yeah, it's got a lot of, now, granted, the Bears haven't played all their games there. They haven't been playing in Soldier Field since the 20s. They had a huge break where they played somewhere else. I think they went back in 1970 and have played there since. But the building has always stood, so that building is about 100 years old. And the Bears are our rivals, but there are a lot of guys that played on the Bears throughout history that I really am a fan of.
Same.
That's what I noticed. I think every team has one person on it that I like watching. Every team.
Mm-hmm. Was it Khalil Mack? Isn't that the one that went to?
Yeah, he went there from the Raiders, and he's such a monster.
And I like Trubisky, but now I can watch him in Buffalo.
Well, you can watch him still on the bench.
I was like one of the only people that like Trubisky. It's so weird.
But yes, Soldier Field. I even if we never, our tour will happen. But if for some weird reason it's not in the cards, I do want to go to one game in Soldier.
Well, Yeah, no, I'm definitely down. I think that will be. Obviously, we'll probably hit up Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Lambeau, Highmark. Those will be some of the first ones. Hit our teams.
Wait, Highmark.
Yeah, the Ralph.
There we go.
I'm trying to be consistent here.
Yeah, I got
it's on the list as Highmark. So the Ralph will hit it up. That'll probably be one of the first ones that we'll hit. Arrowhead will just be easier because it's right here.
It's right.
And if we get enough followers, I'm going to try to get media credentials, and then we'll be there all the time.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Anyway.
Yeah, so Soldier Field, I hate the team that plays there because I have to, but it's such an awesome building.
Yeah, and like I said, the history, the reason it didn't make my list and it was an honorable mention was the history. But when I think about it, I never really had this like urge to go there. Like some of the other stadiums, I never felt like, man, I really want to go to Soldier Field.
Yeah. I think it's just because it's because I'm more of a retro guy. I like the old school stuff.
Man, look at Alex. Him and I are agreeing. Like, hell froze over. Next thing we know, like the Jets will be winning the Super Bowl. Like, this is weird. I know, right? But I don't even know what's happening. But I agree with him. We both like Trubisky. We think that just needs better coaching that believes in him, that doesn't bench him when he's undefeated.
I don't hate Trubisky. I just knew he wasn't the answer in Chicago.
I think he could have been. I just don't think they. Sometimes people just don't get the support they need when they need it, and I don't think the Nagy had it what it needed to do it. So anyway, where are we at? Two. And you're the this is you.
This is where I put Arrowhead.
Oh, number two. This is where I put Mercedes-Benz Superdome.
Nice.
And for all the reasons you said, it looks awesome. It's cool. It's historic. It's probably hosted close to Miami, if not more than Miami, as far as hosting the most Super Bowls. And then at the same time, when tragedy hit in Katrina, it's where everybody was. It's there, and it's just it's. If this ever isn't their stadium, it's going to be. I mean, it'd be worse than losing about any stadium in the league. So that's why I put them so high on my list.
Yeah. And then I put Arrowhead up here because it's one of those stadiums that everybody wants to play at. Like at least one time in their career, everybody wants to come to Arrowhead to play a game.
And it's neat. Like I said, I've been there as an opposing fan. It's a hell of a stadium, but it's more the fans than the stadium itself.
Oh, yeah. Especially now that they're on a winning schedule. Like, they haven't had a lot of Fairweather fans show up. Not a lot of bandwagoners, because a lot of these people have been Chiefs fans for quite a while.
Up the Gut Stadium tour. But yes, Up the Gut road trip. So I'm going to stall for a little bit while you talk a little bit more about Arrowhead, or we talk about something else, to ask Rick if we've said his stadium yet.
What? Wait, real quick. Who is Rick a fan of?
I don't know. I mean, he's in Cincinnati. That's all I know. Like, Heather's a Bears fan, but Rick, I don't know.
There's no way he thinks that stadium in Cincinnati is number one.
There's no way. That's not possible.
That's just him being a homer.
But Arrowhead is a good one, and maybe I'm a little bit watered down just because I am right next to it.
Yeah,
and maybe it. So I think we might have got it right, because he said we haven't said it. So either we got it so wrong that it's not on our list, or he agrees with us and we're good. So I guess
who's number one?
I guess we'll just go
one.
Shout out to little Patrick giving us the numbers, rocking it. I think we should do this together.
All right,
3, 2, 1. Lambeau
Field. And I don't see how you could put anything else there. It is the longest used stadium as far as consecutive years. No team has played in their stadium longer consecutively than Green Bay has played in this building. They also have, I just looked this up. Oh, wrong page. The longest NFL sellout streak of all time is at Lambeau Field, and it's still going.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say is, one of the first ones we're going to do is Lambeau, but it's also probably going to be one of the hardest ones to get into.
But if we're the press, I think we just get in a different way.
We'll do our best, but that's why we need you guys to share. And if you haven't clicked like yet, be sure to click like. But
the Packers have sold out every game since 1959. Every single.
It's amazing.
And let me tell
dedication.
They have not always been good since 1959.
No,
pretty much the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. Nobody had remembered that Green Bay was a team unless they played against them. They were terrible. They were so bad, and fans were still selling out that stadium.
Well, it's got a long history. It's got the Lambeau Leap. It's got. Oh my God, I hope he didn't think that.
All the street names after all the legends, Lombardi Way.
Yeah, and the frozen tundra, more nicknames than you can shake a stick at.
Some of the coldest games ever too. Yeah.
And honestly, if I was to, my number one stadium I want to go to is the Ralph.
Yeah,
because I'm a Bills fan. But my number two outside of my team has always been Lambeau. I want to go to a game there. If I can go to a Bills Green Bay game in Lambeau, that's just the cream on the cake. But
in January,
that would be great.
And
maybe even February.
And they're also outdoors in the freezing cold.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, he wasn't even following. So she wrote this, and I'm like, I like the dog pound, but there's,
it's not a dog pound.
No. Anyway, and then he likes Three Rivers, but Three Rivers is we have Heinz Field now. It's not an in-use stadium, so
I don't even know if
he wasn't even following the rules.
He sure wasn't. I almost like you think he's a Patriots fan.
Don't do no. I like Drake. Don't do that to him. All right. Well, that was our list of the top 10 stadiums. Actually, a little bit more talking than I expected. This is the longest we've taken a show in a while. But
that's our list. We did it. We rated some stuff.
Hates the Steelers, loves the stadiums. I'm sorry. I got off it. Oh, I got to go back. Hold on. Oh, my gosh. I'm so confused now. We rated stuff. And because I'm a horrible person, I forgot my second. I had Soldier Field as an honorable mention, but I also had SoFi. SoFi is amazing for what they built of it, but they weren't first. They weren't second. They're just kind of now one of they're same as everybody else.
They're following the trend of these billion-dollar buildings.
So it's amazing, and it's not just the football field. They're supposed to have a whole experience there. They may even have a theme park there. All I know. So it's awesome. It's cool. I'm not trying to knock SoFi, but it's just it took a little while.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're not crapping on any stadium. Oh, the roommate's home. Anyway, we're not crapping on any stadium. Every pro stadium is awesome in its own little way. This is just our top 10. Your top 10 will definitely differ from ours, but I don't think there's one bad NFL stadium.
If you're going to an NFL game, you're gonna love it. And when I've only been to one. I went to a game at Arrowhead, Bills versus Kansas City. We knocked the socks off them worse than anybody's ever done it before. But I didn't have good seats. I couldn't afford good seats.
Yeah, well,
I was way up top, and it was still a great time. I mean, beer prices are going to be ridiculous, but you got to deal with.
Well, that's why I got a pregame.
Yep. They call that tailgating in football, which is another reason Buffalo made it so high. And I'm a little upset that you didn't even put them in there because no one tailgates like the Buffalo Bills. The stadium itself will kick your ass. The fans are one of the best ever, and they couldn't crack your top freaking 10 Ailers.
It's because until they got good, you just didn't hear about any of them. The Bills Mafia.
We've never not sold out, though. Look up the solid streak of Buffalo. They're always there. Just because you're not hearing them because you're not your team, we're always there. You son of a bitch.
But I just looked up the most incredible active sellout streaks in sports, and the two they gave me for football was Denver Broncos had the longest NFL sellout streak in one city for 400 plus games, but Green Bay has the longest NFL sellout streak of all time. And then that's all they gave me for football.
No, well, I don't know what it is. I know is Buffalo, they sell out if they can sell out. Buffalo fans are always there because we're diehard, man.
I don't doubt that. I think it's because until it was actually the Bills Mafia and they were breaking tables, they weren't in the news, and I just didn't hear about them.
Well, I always knew about them, but again, I would. I don't even know when the breaking table started, but I wanted to take this time to tell the Bills Mafia I'm all about breaking tables. but we got to start being smarter about it. I'm tired of seeing so many videos of people missing tables, of people lighting tables on fire with lighter fluid. And come on, guys, we got to be smarter about it. Break the tables, but break them right. This has been a message from Up the Gut.
Yeah, this has been your Bills Mafia PSA.
Hold on, we got a comment to get to. And it says, stadium likes Arizona because they roll the field out for the sun. No, that is pretty funny. They just like the field will travel. I also like it too, like I said earlier, because State Farm Arena, it looks like someone just they just hooked up one of those blow up mattresses pumps. Yeah. No, like a blow up mattress pump. They stuck it on there, and then they had a stadium. Rolled the field in.
If we ever had a pro stadium and a bouncy castle, I'd be one of the first ones there. I don't care what the price was.
Maybe that's what we need to do, is just put a bouncy castle in Lambeau.
Just that's where we do our press thing, is in a bouncy castle in the parking lot.
I'm good with it. No, in the field, like in the corner, they can use it to help do their Lambeau leaps because they're only getting older. So those old guys have trouble jumping up for the leap. They can just bounce it up. Anyway.
Aaron Rodgers never even did it in Lambeau leap. That makes me a little sad.
You'll call it the
someone just needs to give him a leg up. We got this, Aaron. Let's do this.
Yeah.
All right, where are we at now? I don't even know where we're at. I'm confused.
I believe now it's about time for the most negative segment on this show.
Is it?
It is.
It is.
Flipping, dadgummit!
Now, I didn't have one set up. Did you have a flip and flip that guy?
I do have a flip and flip that guy. I've kind of already gone off on it a little bit just because it is a flip and flip that guy. It's deep in my heart. You need to start getting a little more hatred in your heart, Ailers. I can't be the only one. Love hating everybody.
I just got one. It has nothing to do with football, but I got one. It just happened.
Ooh. Do you want me to go first? Or you want to go?
You go ahead.
Okay. Well, I have love and hate for this. Same as what's happened so often, because they paid the money to sponsor the stadium, and good for them. They're doing something. It helps the team, and that's good. It helps the league. But when it comes down to it, Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, it's the Ralph. It's Ralph Wilson Stadium. You don't just go off putting your name on it just because you did it. I understand you put the money forth, but if you really knew the Buffalo Bills, if you really want, did you just pick any stadium? You're just I just want to name something. Well, go name something else. Go to freaking Heinz Field. Their ketchup ass loving field. They can be Highmark ketchup loving ass field. We're the Ralph Wilson Stadium, named after one of the best owners, one of the owners that there would be no NFL if it wasn't for him. There would be no Oakland Raiders if there wasn't for him. There would be no Buffalo Bills, no Miami Dolphins. This guy was so essential to the league. We should just change the Lombardi Trophy to the Ralph Wilson Trophy. Yeah, I didn't think you'd like that. I don't care about that. I think it's the Lombardi. But there needs to be more recognition for what this guy did for NFL, for the league. And he should have Ralph Wilson Stadium. So even though I appreciate you, because it probably wasn't cheap to sponsor the field, to name this naming rights for the field, but Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, I'm sorry.
Flipping, dadgummit!
Yeah. Could you imagine if Lambeau Field changed to some corporate sponsor? They'd burn that place to the ground.
I know. It's again, I appreciate it and I understand it, but come on, if you really love the team enough to name it, shouldn't you know?
Well, I don't think they love the team. They just saw an opportunity to get their name put out there so they can make more money.
Come on, they're Blue Cross Blue Shield. They got enough money. No one's going to be like, oh my gosh, I just saw them on a football field. I'm going to get blue. They get it with their employers. No one's just, come on, Ailers. Okay, sorry.
It's the only reason any corporation puts their name on something.
They don't need to.
But my flip and flip that guy just happened today, and it's for everybody that says Coke is better than Pepsi.
Hold on. Wait a second. You mean this person? This person right here?
No, I'm not singling out one. It's the whole Coke community. The whole Coke community. And it's because you were just clinging so hard to such an inferior drink. And I don't understand it.
Hasn't been good since they got rid of the actual cocaine.
Yeah. It hasn't been good since before my dad was born.
Damn.
Actually, that's not true. It is still good in Mexico because Mexican Coke uses real sugar and it's delicious. But this stuff we make here now, it is hot garbage.
I don't even mix with it anymore. Fucking just Pepsi. Pepsi and whiskey. You don't need that Coke garbage. Coke only has survived this long because they're mixing people with it because we got like Crown and Coke or whatever the freaking Coke mixes are. People are like, oh, we got to mix with Coke. No, you don't. You have options. Anything's better. You know, Mountain Dew was only invented to mix with whiskey. Yeah, you're not doing that. Why don't you try some Mountain Dew and whiskey? Get rid of that Coke. What do you think, Ahlers? Huh?
It also goes good with vodka because Mountain Dew and Grey Goose is some good stuff.
Awesome.
But no, the only reason Coke still survives is because we got all these restaurants in the South that are like, you go there, you're like, do you have Pepsi? No, we got Coke. And then you're stuck.
I want a Pepsi. Is Coke okay? Well, did I say Coke? No, I didn't.
Oh, is Monopoly money okay? Huh.
You know what? Ahlers, tell him right now.
To tell him right now, Pepsi is superior. It has been superior. It will always be superior unless they screw up the recipe. But I don't see that happening.
So all you people that say Coke is better?
Flipping, dadgummit!
I will give Heather credit because if you look at her last comment, she says all they drink is Mexican Coke. So she drinks the good stuff.
I think she's just trying to look better. She's trying not to look like that. No, I knew this would blow it up because in our text group, she's part of the text group I'm in. And that is something that has happened. Wes, Heather, I think even Alex, all like, oh, Coke this, and I stand by my guns because I know good taste.
Also, Pepsi gave us Mountain Dew. What is the Coke company giving us besides garbage Coke?
Knockoffs.
Nothing. That's what they gave us.
Garbage, hot garbage, like you said.
That's right.
But we still love you guys. Thanks for watching. Don't unclick the like button.
We don't hate
Grandma.
We don't hate you because you drink Coke. We just hate the drink that you decide to align with.
Just like all the other flip those guys, whenever I say I really appreciate or I like what this guy did or this and that, we still love you guys. We think you have good taste on everything but your cola.
Yeah.
You picked up the gut. You're watching up the gut. You obviously don't have bad taste. You're good people. We appreciate it.
Yeah, but drink Pepsi. Not a sponsor. It's just good.
No, I like Pepsi. I mean, I don't drink a lot of soda. And Rick, Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is like my favorite because they're like beholden to no one. They just go wherever they want.
Mountain Dew has always been my favorite. Maybe just because
it was.
Green. I don't know.
It was for the longest time for me, but I haven't had a Mountain Dew in so long. I got on a Dr. Pepper kick. Now I cut out basically all soda, but I still like mixing. So the only time I drink soda is when I'm mixing with my whiskey.
Yeah, I feel you.
And you don't mix good whiskey with Pepsi. Use Jim Beam. It's good. It's good. You could drink whiskey neat if you wanted. You can drink Jim Beam on the rocks if you want. It's good, but it's also cheap enough you can mix it.
Yeah. Now,
all right.
Before we close the show, we got to remind the people.
No, we have never officially announced it on the show.
We have not. Today's the day.
So we're announcing. What are we announcing, Ahlers?
We're announcing that we are going to have a second show.
What? Didn't we just say how we didn't have time for one show? We're going to do two?
That's right.
All right. Well, do you want to tell them what the show is, or do you want me to?
It's still going to be called Up the Gut. It's still going to be on the same channel. But instead of rating some stuff, we're going to taste some stuff.
Go on and taste it.
That's right. We're going to go on and taste it. What are we going to taste? All kinds of stuff.
We are. So basically, this is what I was hinting at earlier about the Taste Bud guys. Taste Bud guys have been on the YouTube for a while, and I used to go out with Chris long before he started the show, and we would taste stuff and different tequilas, bourbons, beers, whatever. We'd travel together and we'd do stuff because we worked together. Well, then he started the show. Well, I would be on, Taste Bud Guys, and that's not going to stop. I'm still going to be on Taste Bud Guys. Ayler will be on Taste Bud Guys again. We still love those guys. If you haven't subscribed, just go to the channels on our YouTube. They're on there. Check them out. I love their programming. The new Rhett and Link, but better. I don't know what that means. I don't know who she's talking about. Are they talking about Taste Bud guys? Because they're good. I like them.
Rhett and Link are a couple YouTubers. They do all kinds of cool stuff.
Whatever. Anyway, so, but I my bourbon collection has gotten a little out of hand. Give you an example.
That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, this is just the stuff that didn't fit in the cabinet or under the bar. This is the open drinkable stuff. So I just got to the point where I wanted to do stuff more than I would be able to get with the Taste Bud guys. So that's how I've heard of them. Yes, they do hate Crowder, and so I don't watch them because Crowder, even though he's banned from YouTube, is awesome. So, we're on YouTube anyway. We won't get into that. So, so I just wanted a chance to maybe throw some more of my bourbon collection out there, let you guys know what we think of it. If you might maybe want to go get it. But more than that, we're going to have sponsors coming up of stuff that we like to taste. So, maybe dive a little deeper than just saying, hey, go buy this. Well, you'll actually get to see us get in and try something, Next week's sponsor is one that will be, it'll make a show on up the gut taste stuff. So it's going to be Sunday nights.
Yes.
Sunday night, 6:30 Central Standard Time. We're going to try to do it every Sunday, 52-week year. This is how we roll. Just depends on, the first one, if you look at the very first comment, there is a link to our Twitter, and there are 4 bourbons that we're going to try. I think it's Old Granddad's Bonded, Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, Evan Williams Single Barrel, or Early Times Bottle and Bond. So it's going to be one of those. So
and they're going to be honest tastings. We're not just going to drink it and go, if I don't like it, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, and I don't think Ayler's drinks a lot of bourbon, so we'll see.
I don't. It's going to be something. It's going to be a real adventure for me to start off with.
So anyway, we just wanted to, kind of branch out, get some more people involved, but still be able to go after stuff that we like. I like to drink booze. I like to eat food, and I like to try stuff, and I like to tell you guys about it. I hope you guys enjoy it. I really do. Like I said, it's going to be up to go taste some stuff. It's still going to be live, but it's going to be live for the reasons that it just makes it so much easier on me because editing time I don't really have for it. So, but we're talking short episodes, hopefully under 5 minutes every week. So it's not going to take a whole bunch out of your time. We will still take comments at the end of the show. Anything you want to add about that, man?
No, I think it's going to be a good time. And I like that we're going to have more content to make because honestly, this is fun.
And it's, eventually, we have a playlist that's up the gut video games. I think we only have one video on there right now, but that's something we'll get into too eventually. It's just Matt and I being in separate states makes it really hard. Both of us work, so it makes it hard to get into stuff, but we're going to start trying to do more stuff, give you guys more product.
And we don't, it's not just that we both work. We work very different hours.
Extremely different hours. So before we leave, I just want to say thank you again. If you haven't clicked the like button, click the like button. If you haven't told your friends, tell your friends.
Please.
Let them know it's a football show, but it's more than that. We do. We talk about all sorts of stuff, and we're the channel's growing. It's going to keep evolving, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of something for everybody. But again, we appreciate everybody that's liked it, everybody that's watching. Don't forget our official sponsor this week, independent Mary Kay beauty consultant, Jennifer Kimmel. Remember, sale ends tonight, so check out our website, or again, if you can get a hold of her, look her up on the Facebooks, and she'll hook you guys up. 40% off. So Matt,
40%.
40%.
So much.
That's
so much percent.
That's insane. So I'm trying to figure out how to end this, but Matt, don't forget about this guy.
Oh, yep, Joe Flacco, the new backup quarterback in Philly.
We don't know that. All right. Thank you, everybody.
I think we know that. And don't forget. Well, I'm going to tell them. Always got to tell them. So make sure they never forget. If you don't do anything else for us, if you don't click like, if you don't subscribe, at least tell your moms about us.